All right, so while we wait for Mr. Abidin to load this video and confirm he can hear us clearly. So let me just do a little bit of reminders. I hope you have been enjoying your courses on the LMS platform. Let me see a thumbs up if you've been enjoying it so far. You've been learning a lot of new things. This program the YLDP program is all about your, oh, awesome, Isbar. It's all
Thank you so
about
much.
making you, yeah, a leader to create the Nigeria we want, right? So if you've been great with your courses so far, can I see some thumbs up? Oh, yes, thank you, Zainab. Let me see. Oh, Nanji. Great, great. Thank you. So I would like to hand over to Mr. Abidin today to continue to take us in the session for critical
All right.
thinking and logical reasoning. Thank you so, so much, Mr. Abidin. You have the floor now.
Thank you so much, Faith. And I sincerely want to appreciate you
All right.
and the Leap Africa team. And I want to sincerely apologize as well. I was trying to join with my PC before, but this is something funny. So I don't know what's up. So that's why I had to opt for mobile view. And I apologize as well. It's been a crazy month and crazy week for me, like I told Ijama. So I may not be able to give some slide, but we'll make it as much as possible to make the topic interactive as well. So, and I want to sincerely congratulate all the participants here. I know, out of over 4,000 applicants, for you to make it down to this stage, it really shows you have something extremely important to offer, not just your community, not just Nigeria, but Africa at large as well. So it's worthy of, giving a shout out to you for making it so far. And not only that as well, special kudos to Leap Africa again. I'm still going to go back to them because opportunity and initiative like these, if we are to, put the cost implication on the plus and minus, it will cost some thousands of dollars or thousands of naira to enroll for courses like this, get opportunity from experts like these, share knowledge and, experience with them as well. So I've been asked to come and talk about, critical thinking and logical reasoning. And of course, we are going to be doing this together. And I want you to make this interactive as much as possible. And I'll be sharing from my own personal experience and knowledge. When you hear the word critical thinking, like for example, as well, you must have heard about it maybe while you're in secondary school or primary school or even in tertiary institution or maybe in any application you have filled before. So what has always come to your mind when you hear the word critical thinking? So you can use the chat box to, make contributions while I read some. And then, of course, we proceed with others. So when you hear the word critical thinking, what comes to your mind? As far as I am concerned, I wouldn't thinking positively out of the ordinary. Thank you so much, Sharon. Can I get one or two more? Thank you so much, Nasir Abdullah. Thinking outside the box. Okay. Thank you so much, sign up as well. I sincerely appreciate the feedback. For example, while sometimes when you're in school, how many of us took faber reasoning as a course of study? Faber reasoning or quantitative reasoning. It's not like our normal mathematics. It's not like our normal, use of English classes. And it's also not like our normal maybe integrated science or physics or mathematics. There's a reason why they call it Faber reasoning, and there's a reason why they call it quantitative reasoning. And there is also this course, if you are a science student, majority of science students will take further mathematics. So under that further mathematics, there is always a topic under further mathematics that we call logic. If you are a lazy mathematics student like me that does not like mathematics, you will find logic as something extremely, extremely, difficult or something that you feel might not really work. Why am I saying this? The word critical thinking goes sine qua non with everything we do in our daily life. You've got to employ issues around critical thinking into the way you want to live your life as yourself. Like I'm asking us a question as well, as participants, as active citizen in Nigeria, how many of us have a vision board? You can use the chat box to respond to that while I continue my session. Just think about it. How many of you, oh wow, Sharon, thank you. Good. How many of us have a vision board? For you to have something like a vision board, and it's absolutely awesome if you have never heard about vision board. Thank you, Samuel. And it's awesome for you not to know something about that. I tell people, no one is an island or monopoly of knowledge, and you can't know everything. Absolutely. I agree. So, but if I were you, immediately after this call, thank you, Prince Emmanuel, you have it. If I were you, immediately after this call, I'll go and Google what is a vision board or how to make a vision board. One way or the other, even though I'm not able to type in this session that I do have a vision board, I could walk around it and, of course, see, get it. After Adam, thank you so much for responding. So you need critical thinking in your daily life. You need critical thinking. Thank you, H.A. Mashi. You need critical thinking to deal with relationships. Relationship is not boyfriending or girlfriending. Relationship might not really be, a marriage. Relationship could even be you communicating with your superior at your place of work. Relationship could be, the team that you have formed for these community development services projects. It could be how you are going to communicate well. It's critical thinking also, involves you thinking extremely deeply about, for example, how you want to mingle with other colleagues, maybe in classes. Have you ever witnessed some people? They are they're brilliant. And I'm very sure we know as well, because I know I'm talking to one of the most smartest participants. That's why, anytime I had opportunity to speak to fellows of lead program like this, I'm always super pumped and excited, because the category of participant they have selected is always top notch. I don't know, maybe some of us knows that there is a difference between being brilliant, being smart, and being intelligent. And of course, in my class as well, like I said, I'm not a lecturer that knows it all. Feel free to disagree with me so that we'll learn. Some people might really be brilliant, and in the real sense, that brilliance could just be academic brilliancy. And when you look at their IQ, their critical thinking skills, the way they could, ideate, the way they could innovate, the way they could creatively, bring something from nothing to something, it might be zero. So sometimes we call them, la crème la peau, or either la crème la peau. If you are still an undergraduate here, I'm begging you, in the mighty name of God, in Jesus' name, in Allah's name, and Ifa's name, whichever name you worship. If you are still an undergraduate and you can make a first class, either la crème la peau or nothing, please do it. Don't follow those who say two is a scam or anything, because there's something first class does for you. It places you above others automatically. So when they are making that, critical needs to say 1, 2, 3, 4. Either you are a dollar or not, either you can think or not, number one, you will come there first. So it places you above others automatically. So that's to undergraduates who are here. But if you're not undergraduate like me, and maybe you won the school or the school won you, or you guys play double. All of us knows when they say you won the school. When you won the school, you had a 2-1 or maybe upper class for those who graduated from the Polytechnic. But when you do double, is lower class, or you do a 2-2. But if the school won you, that's third class, or if they place your back at the ground, that's maybe a pass, or maybe, of course, you couldn't get a certificate. So we got here from talking about you won the school. Thank you, congrats, you're an Efiko, you must be a scholar. We got here from talking about issues around how you as an individual sometimes could be brilliant but might not be smart or intelligent. So I was talking about explaining critical thinking skill, because this is not a normal undergraduate class. I won't tell you, critical thinking is the art of so. No. I will also use the critical thinking to explain critical thinking for you. So now, of course, for example, if you want to play this scenario, maybe perhaps you want to pass on this knowledge to others as well, you'll be able to adequately pass the knowledge and use that role kits. And I always tell people as well, the reason why, our standard of education is the way it is because, the teaching pedagogy needs to change. Imagine if maybe, for example, when you are studying economics in school, or while you are studying chemistry, when you want to explain, maybe in biology, osmosis and diffusion, they use, the case study of maybe that yam flour or elubos for the Yoruba to explain osmosis and diffusion. no matter what, the day the lecturer asks you in the exam hall to explain that kind of stuff, you won't be giving him what doubts white or the advanced country gives to the candidates. You will critically have to reassess the case study or scenario that was brought to the class to explain osmosis, to explain dilution, to explain opportunity cost, to explain chemistry or accounting, profit and loss accounts. But it's the absence of that case study or role play or storytelling skill that is lacking in those who are educated today, which is, one way or the other, leading to a whole lot of number of us not interested in education or, joining them to call school a scam. Critical thinking also, and I agree absolutely with those from this philosophy of those who said every one of us has been blessed with this brain that God gave to us. So the way you now use your own, it's left to you. That's the reason why, some Nigerians got blessed with this brain, and the way they pull their own critical thinking is in a bad way. In the bad way, in the sense that they are using their own to do yahoo yahoo. They are using their own to defraud people online. They are using their whole own to, make some people cry by, doing some scamming to say, oh, they are, hello. I'm not about has heard about this scam before. They could just say, hello, there is a meeting on so WhatsApp group. And of course, you need to join. But for you to join that WhatsApp group, they will send a code to you. So you dictate that code for them and you press it. So if you have listened to that kind of scam, please just type on the chat box and tell me yes. So some people as well who are doing this, they will call, so sorry about that you are once scammed by that. I hope you would never go scammed again by that as well. So so sorry you cried. So sorry, I'm so sorry that this is emotional and I need to laugh, sorry. But sincerely, some people are using their own God-given talent to look for a way to which they could, defraud the other party and, make negative use of it. Even in this scenario as well, let me give you a critical thinking case study that we have done with an organization before. For example, in community, because of course I'm using community service case study for this. In a community, before we go as an organization, I work with an organization called Brain Builders Youth Development Initiative. We are into governance, women and community empowerment, climate change and education, then sustainable development goals as a whole. Before any intervention support project, we do what we call needs assessments. The needs assessment is like a survey or questionnaire or engagement that we have with the community to ask the community what are their pain points, what do they really need. So of course, if we are going to be giving them solution, we'll be providing a tailor-made solution that will solve their problem. And that's the problem that we have about the political class. The political class, we assume that in a community, they need pipe-borne water, whereas in that community, what they need is a toilet. Whereas in that community, what they need is electricity. Whereas in that community, it could be good road that they need. So, but because, the politician wants to sometimes embezzle money or do a white elephant project, they do a project that in the long run will not be sustainable. But if a needs assessment has been conducted, you will be able to know that this is exactly what they need in that community, and the community will appreciate it more and take ownership of it. Another case study around that needs assessment is, in classes, even in this class, I know to some people, and I apologize in advance, oh, this our lecturer is too fast. So some people, I think I like the way he speaks. So some people, I think they are indifferent, they are mid. So we can learn at the same rate, even in classes like this. So I've always give recommendation as well to improve the standard of education in Nigeria. Is there a way through which you can get a needs assessment about every undergraduate or every primary or secondary school student to know their, intellectual capacity? Because, for example, if you put me in a class with FICOs like those who had 2-1, those who had first class, there is a high possibility that the high rate at which they assimilate is not the high rate at which I assimilate. Unfortunately, we don't have that kind of resources to say we want to divide 1,000 students and we start teaching them at their own pace in Nigeria. I pray that there will be a time that, Nigeria will prioritize our students and, give a tailor-made education based on the level of intelligent quotient capacity of each student to them. So we did that needs assessment for that community. And of course, we did a borehole. Unfortunately, the organization we are working with said the only project they want to fund is borehole, that they are not interested in funding other projects. Left to us, the result of our own needs assessment states that electricity is of high priority to the community. Well, because of course, for some of us who work in the non-profit, if that is the sentiment of the donor, and for you to ensure that, of course, the community that you work with still benefit, you allow it fly. We did this borehole. It was even a solar-powered borehole. That was about 4 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, 4 or 5 years ago. So we did that solar-powered borehole. Believe you me, in less than 2 weeks, we got the battery removed, stolen. We got a lot of things damaged in the solar-powered borehole. We now probe into what are the challenges in this. What are the things that we didn't do right with this project that we have always done in other projects that, always have sustainability? The core of everything now today, and I'm very sure one of the criteria that LEAP will be using to judge is sustainability as well. What's the impact of the project you want to implement? What's the sustainability of the idea of the community service project, so that even beyond the funding space, if LEAP Africa is funding this, beyond the funding space, is the project going to stand its test of time? They want you to critically think about the project and not just do, because a lot of people go to school and they do an awareness around education, let's just do this. A lot of people do street cleaning, let's do street cleaning. A lot of people are talking about climate change, let's do climate change. Like, they want you to critically assess challenges. Think beyond what you have been taught in the four walls of the classroom. Think beyond your own personal sentiment to see ways to which things could be impacted. So we're not probably into this. We visited the community. One of what we also do at Brain Builders Development Initiative is that we do what we call a community stakeholder mapping. We go to community, we talk to them, we liaise with them, we engage them. And that's the reason why, we do what the community really wants and not what we want. That's why in my own personal principle of community engagement and, development space, I work with the community and not for the community. Please take note of that. Work with the community and not for the community. And there's also a difference between I'm working with you and I'm working for you as well. Well, I'm not going to do grammar or concord or rule of semantic class here. I've not been asked to come and do that. LEAP has invited me for critical thinking and logical reasoning. So we'll probe into that. And please, because we are all mature, that's why I'm going to share this idea. Do you know there are a whole lot of people in that community that intentionally, I won't mention the name of the community or the geopolitical zone as well, so that we don't just use that against anybody. The community itself, or let me say the community herself, team up together and destroyed that borehole. And you know the reason why they destroy it? So intentionally, they enjoy the fact that they go long distance to fetch water. That they send, not them particularly, that they send their kids long distance to fetch pipe-borne water. And why do they do that? Because to a large extent, the community is not, it's not like you guys that you're living in maybe Banana Island or Usape in Abuja or one of the Twitch estates in your states. The community, the category of people who are living in the community are the category of people that World Bank has placed on living on less than $1 per day. Like, to a large extent, poverty. They are still around the poverty index. They could not afford to build that gigantic house. Majority of the community, from what we learned, is 97 or 96% of them lives in just a one room apartment, not even one bedroom. When I say one bedroom, bedroom, that's a parlor and the room, just one room. For some of us who once lived in the village, you can't understand the kind of building I'm talking about. For those of you at Twitch, you won't understand. So let me stop myself. But there are some houses that will do that. When you want to go and use the washroom, you have to go outside to use the washroom. You have to go outside and tie your wrapper to go and bath and come back inside. For some of us who don't want to form, who are on the call as well, you understand what I'm trying to say. So they live in those kind of one room apartments. And the reason why they send some of these kids on an errand on a long distance is the mom and the dad want to have a nice moment, and it will take the kids a lot of long distance before they go to that place to go and fetch water and come back. So they travel that long distance mile, go, come. So before they go and come as well, the next time that the daddy and the mommy want to have already got done. That's the only time that they always have time to have a nice memory with themselves as couple. Now imagine, we thought, oh, fine, in a community like this that they have to travel kilometer away, we had to, give them good water supply so that, waterborne disease will not be a major challenge, and we are going to, solve their problem. But because we could not critically think about it, We could not critically conduct, needs assessments. We had to ensure that we witnessed a failed project. I call the project failed because if we had listened, if we had engaged with the community, if we had critically assessed what is needed, sincerely, it will not be like that again. Then in our organization as well, a major part of, I always tell people, and of course, it's okay for you not to believe in that methodology, but I have tried it and it has worked. If you know something, if I'm okay, let me give you an example. For example, now maybe I want to place this phone and this phone. They are both applying for the same job. Forget that this one is an iPhone and this one is it's a normal Nokia phone. Let's assume that they are both an iPhone. They have applied for the same job. And during the job interview, I get to know that this small phone does not really know that job, but has empathy, has good communication skill, is open to learning, and of course can critically think. But this is not to diss anybody that had a first class place. Don't misquote me. These are the first class in school. This knows the job better, but this is saucy. This lacks good communication skill. The only thing this knows how to do is give him something to read, let him read it, and let him come and pass it. As part of my own personal principle, I would rather employ this, train him to my taste, than mean employing a person that you know everything, but you lack a very good personal communication and critical thinking skills. And the job market is getting wider now. I'm not talking community development, even for your own personal growth. Case study are what people, how many of us have learned or heard about MBA classes? Have you been fortunate to attend any MBA classes, or you have heard about any MBA class before? Just use the chat box to respond to me. I want to ask a question around that MBA here, and I want you to just unmute and we just interact for 60 seconds. Hello, no one else asked about MBA classes before? Okay, no. It's okay. There's no wrong answer in my class. No or yes. That's fine. We are here to learn. Can I get a yes? Okay, no. No. There's something they call code call. I mean, okay. Thank you, Justus Adetuji. Thank you so much. Can Justus Adetuji be unmuted, please, Faith? Because I know you need to get permission for you to unmute sometimes. Justus Adetuji, can you unmute? Okay, if you're having any challenges with that, let me just move on because of my time. Okay, thank you, Sharon. Sharon knows code call as well. For example, as you're on this class, when I'm asking questions, instead of me to start waiting for yes or no, okay, I think they do it at the Nigerian Law School as well. I can just ask you to pass the mic. Unexpectedly, you are not expecting that they're going to call you. And in MBA class, okay, you're there. Thank you so much. I think I've moved on. So sorry about that because my time is not by my side. And I want you guys to ask a lot of questions during my session. So apologies, please, Justice. There's something they call case study as well. If you are fortunate and you get funded in the long run, there's a course that we recommend for you. Though LBSD is not paying me for this. There's a course at Lagos Business School that they go take. They call it non-profit management. That course is a very brilliant course. At the end of the course, they will have you, walk around a case study. And that case study, normally when we are in school, majority of the questions that our lecturer asks us is explain this, what is this, explain the merits and merits. This one will not come in form of that. They will give you a role play. That LEAP Africa has been a leading non-profit organization, not only in Nigeria, but Africa for the last 20 years. They have the start base of over 150 population as well. And they have implemented projects like YLDP, XSS, XS Large. They work with community people. And this particular project that they are implementing is this. Analyze the monitoring and evaluation framework for the project that LEAP Africa has implemented in the last 5 years. They're not asking you, when was LEAP Africa established? What's the methodology of selection at LEAP Africa? What's their staff organogram? What's their ethics? What's their level of professionalism? They said you should critically analyze a framework. So that is how you are going to know a person who can stand on his feet to think deeply, a person who can conduct research, or a person who is innovative or creative. So critical thinking involves you, looking at maybe perhaps this token. And critical thinkers are the ones that are currently ruling the world for now. Because, like I said the other time, I was trying to say something. Organizations are moving from saying, give me your CV and cover letter, then Because the last time we recruited in our organization, I never asked your CV and cover letter. All of you are using GPT now. Don't let me assume that all of you, because I don't have concrete data. But a lot of people are using AI now. I don't want to use this word, but I'm so sorry. Let me use it. Some people are even foolish to the extent that they will just copy and paste what the AI or ChatGPT is giving them and put it in an application. But of course, if you are applying for something that a person like me is reviewing, I will just do control or delete. You know the meaning of control or delete? It means immediately I don't need to read the next one. Because it's a bad turn off for me. I'm not asking you not to use AI. Of course, a lot of people use AI to get thoughts, to get opinion, to get, but of course, don't just use it verbatim. Have your own wordings, tweak as well, fresh it up, be creative and innovative about it. If a critical thinker sees this, the person will not just think about it as a token. The person will think about different ways about it. So if you see even a pen, to some people, this is just a pen and the only thing it could be used is a biro. It is to write some things. Some people can think, oh, fine, this place could be used to clip. Maybe if you are wearing something and you want to clip something together, it could be used as a clip as well. It could be used as a decorator so that, my pocket here is not just empty. What other thing can this pen be used for? Oh, the color of this pen is color pink. I think the color is feminine in nature. And of course, if I want to do any advocacy around feminism, I think this might really work. Oh, with this pen, why did they make the pen, the cover here round like this? What's the idea behind it? There is one thinking that I used to think, but I'm so sorry. Don't think like me because I am always crazy. When I was young, I don't know. And please, like I said, I want this to be interactive. How many of us think about it, but because of my own religion, I will still say Astaghfirullah after it, and I will say the Lord Jesus Christ to forgive me, and the leader of Ifa should forgive me. While you are young, how many of you have ever thinking that person that we call God, that who born God? Then when you are thinking about who born God, who born the person that born God? Then who not born that person that born the person that now born God? So yeah, talk to me on the chat box. Let's interact. If you have ever thought about it before, and it's okay for you if you have never thought about it, please. Like you just sit down one day and you'll be thinking, that person that you always call God said, who born him? From that person, who born that person? Then the other person, then, your brain will just burst. I think I'm not the only one on this table. So I could see Mercy said yes, Sharon, I do, John, positive, Adekola Rukat, yes, Primor, laughing, I guess that is yes. Mustafa, I've thought about it. Salahuddin, yes. Abdullah Nasir is true. Just Sons, I've thought about it. After Adam is laughing, I guess it's yes. Messy questions like, why do we believe the Bible? Not only you to say that, I've thought about, okay, you just come from nowhere and you tell me this is Quran. Who are those people who write that thing? We had their own sentiment to it, but don't let's delve into it too much so that, of course, we won't be committing sin. We are all spiritual people, so let's just beg God to forgive us. But I'm happy to see there are a whole lot of us as well critically think about stuffs. And when anything happens, I don't just take things from the surface like, I will have to retrospect and critically assess myself. Habidin, when you applied for that application, how did you do it? Oh, you saw that application since all these days, and you allow procrastination to kill you. You apply on the day of the deadline, and you think you want to give the same output than the person who has dedicated about 10 days continuously, looking at that application, reviewing it, talking to those who have benefited from that kind of opportunity, reassess it, edit it, then you want to get in like them, then you're a joker, Abidin. You need to be sincere to yourself at times as well, while critically assessing stuff. And another thing that critical thinking has done to me personally, because I'm sharing my own personal experience and knowledge of methodology and ways, is it has placed me above my peers in terms of different opportunity. I had opportunity to do a pitch competition in Abidjan last year. I pitched with the head of a government agency in Nigeria. You know what that means? For some of us who are tech savvy, you could just Google the US West African Tech Challenge. But this is not to diss that person, please. Please, I'm not dissing anybody. But imagine pitching with the head of a government agency in Nigeria. Imagine the kind of resources that person have had access to, the kind of data the person has had access to. So I just told my colleague that we are pitching together at that Abidjan pitch that for us to be able to, luckily, let me say luckily or unluckily for me as well, I was the first person. It's always difficult to be the first person to speak. Even if you are the greatest speaker of all time, and this is me to the glory of God that has addressed the UN General Assembly, you know, that big numbers, that big pictures you always see at the UN, that big population, to the glory of God, I've had that opportunity. I've addressed the UN ECOSOC Youth Forum, I've attended UN Anti-Corruption Summit. So ordinarily, me pitching to a boardroom should just be something that, oh, I've trained a lot of people on how to pitch. But really, me wanting to pitch in that kind of scenario to just be, let me just go and do what I always do now, and what people tell me or gaslight me that I know how to do best. But you know, being the first person to pitch, the first thing I did was to forward that kind of email to my wife. Tell my wife, oh, fine, I'm the first one pitching this. You need to, in critical thinking and logical reasoning as well, you need to have an accountability partner, a person who believes so much in your capacity, who will not really discourage you. Mine is my own wife. I sent that email to her, and the next thing US West African Tech Challenge, that's the pitch. Just Google US West African Tech Challenge. Then immediately she saw the email, she replied, you know, she automatically knows what I needed at that point. She replied to encourage me that first to pitch and first to win. Those keywords were the instructional keyword I needed so that my morale will not be done. That first to pitch, first to win. That was the same keyword she told me. Just okay, fine. I think I got the needed validation from my backbone already. So I was also pitching with others that personally, you know, some of us, we tell ourselves the truth, to be honest. Personally, if I'm to look at the solution that they are pitching, I will invest or give them funding than give my own solution the funding. But there are three things that critically worked for me. One, I employed critical thinking in that pitch competition. Two, I did storytelling. And three, I'm a very spiritual person. I pray to my God. A lot of people will deceive you, and that's the bitter truth. Oh, fine, don't worry, just read your book, just do this. It's automatic like that. I'm not one of those people who say that. I believe in hard work and prayer. If you're the type that, you know, you believe in, you know, Christ, who is our Lord and Savior, or you believe in Allah, or you believe in Ifa, stick to anything you believe in and always be spiritual about it. Pray about it. I'm not asking you to go and buy soap on Instagram or Twitter. I'm not asking you to go, oh, you see, NEPA did their work. I'm not asking you to go to the Afa or the pastor to tell them that you want something. I'm asking you to talk to your God the same way you want to talk to him, and, you know, seek his divine intervention in anything. So for that pitch competition, about 100 applied from the whole of Africa, West Africa. We got screened down to 50. From 50, we got thrown down to, I think, 15. We went a trading for about 2 weeks. We got thrown down to, I think, if I'm not mistaken, about 7 of us. So 7 of us were fully sponsored, you know, flew down to Abidjan for that pitch competition. And you know now, it's not a small stuff. The worth of that pitch competition is $250,000. And it's going to be given to 2 people, which means 125. Mathematicians like me in the room will be converting that money to US dollar immediately now. To Naira immediately. So, I ensured that we employed critical thinking. And how did I do that? Because I was the first person to speak, you know, that fear was still there in me. The first thing I did was to do a background check on all those who are going to be judging that competition. Look at them critically, follow them on LinkedIn. I use LinkedIn a lot. I don't use Twitter. I'm so sorry for those who are Twitter lovers. I don't like Twitter personally because, you know, as an individual, you need to know your weaknesses and strengths as well. I'm hot-tempered. So if you tell me some bullshit, I will tell you back, and I don't want to get dragged. So the only thing I do on Twitter is to retweet posts, engage with those I know, and just move on. I used to like Facebook. I used to do Instagram. Now I'm learning how to use TikTok as well, but I'm on TikTok for my organization's sake. So I did a background check on LinkedIn about all those who are going to be assessing us. The next thing to do is to individually as well. We had about 11 judges, and the 11 judges, I think about 7 of them are from the United States Global Engagement Center. So tell me, they knew a lot of things about technology. They knew a lot of things about information pollution as well. So I was teaching around information pollution, which is disinformation and misinformation around fake news. So, and we have just built an AI-powered chatbot then. The first AI-powered chatbot in Africa. That's my AI fact checker. You could Google search that as well. My AI fact checker was also a product of another critical thinking. So I knew for me to nail them, I needed to know where to give you the injection for any malaria you have. What do I mean by that? I need to pinch you where I know it will hurt you. I'm not trying to be a bad person, but I need to speak the grammar that I know will resonate with you. So, you know, pitching is also about persuasion.
pitching is also about, trying to say what people want to listen to. And have you seen some pitches? Some people have the best product, the best idea, even the best pitches, and in the long run, they don't get to win. So it is all about personal sentiment of those who are judging you as well. So you have got to play the emotional card sometimes, play the card of, persuasion sometimes, and as well, play the card of critical thinking. The research it took me, because of course we were given notification up for about 2 months before the pitch. I did a lot of background check on them. Sincerely, it's not easy. Waking up, bringing up your daughter, and researching people on a daily basis for more than 1 month, that you don't have anything doing other than to say, today I want to conduct background check on, let me say, Faith Ogali, or I want to conduct background check on Adekola Rukayat, or I want to do that on Florence Oga, or I want to do that on Leon, I want to do that on Nora Aminu, Timothy Michael, or Zainab Iman Sani. Like, checking them on LinkedIn, checking them on Facebook, checking the researches, checking any articles they have written as well. But that thing really helped me a whole lot. It helped me to know what their thought process looks like. What kind of technology are they implemented, and how could they be done? I mounted that podium. I had 20 minutes. It's not some of those 1 minute and a bit of pitch. So, but for them to give us 20 minutes, it's not a joke. And we are talking about the number of 125K, which is not a joke as well. So I mounted that podium. I firstly mounted with a storytelling of a case study of a fake news that relates with what I know majority of them knows, which is about the US election. I brought it back to Africa for those who are African judges there. Then I introduced the power of storytelling as well, giving them case study of different civic tech tools that we have built. Then introducing in terms of numbers, infographics of what impact has looked like since the time we have established our initiative. Then talk about the initiative as well. Give them access to do like a demo of the initiative, play a video for them, and allow them to demo right on their own phone. At the end of the pitch competition, as a person now, we blame ourselves. I just told my colleague that, oh, fine, I think I fucked up, but well, I think we win some, we lose some. Immediately, I was consoling myself that we win some, we lose some. So after me, the 6 other guys, pitch as well. And that kind of pitch competition, that it's the first day that you're going to pitch, and then we announce the 3rd day. So all those 2nd day and even that day as well, that they are even asking us to network, eat, and do everything. I wasn't really fine, to be honest, mentally and psychologically. That, even if I'm not going to win this, can they even break this money so that every one of us, how many of us has thought about that? You have attended a pitch competition. They said the price is maybe, let's use Naira, is 1,000 Naira, but they want to give the 1,000 Naira to 2 people. How many of us has now said, okay, fine, that 500 Naira, let them share it between 2 people. And the rest of 500 Naira, let them give us 10 Naira. So that at least every one of us will know that. Yeah, I think I'm speaking shadow spide as well. Share it for all of us so that nobody leaves empty-handed. So that was what was on my brain. Like, at least, even if it's $10,000, give us now so that at least we shall know that we are here. Nobody is going home empty-handed. So it was that thought process. And of course, again, sincerely, I want to appreciate my family. I knew my wife farted. She prayed a whole lot for us to win that competition. So it's always good to have an accountability partner and a spiritual backbone. Yeah. So the day came, announcements, first got me. Okay, they wanted to announce 2 people. They firstly announced the 2nd winner, which was a startup from Cote d'Ivoire. They call it Adara. So it remains the 1st one. I forgot about it. Oh no, this one is gone already. A lot of us, again, I like storytelling. When they want to announce prize winner for something, your heart should just be doing beep, 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 as if you want to pay it, or the line should just open and you should enter. So that was how my heart was. Then by the time they wanted to announce the first, which was the first winner, and they started by saying brain, man, I won't lie to you. It was as if, and let me be realistic and be factual as well. So far, from the time I've started my career in the development space in 2012 to date, that has been the most joyous part of my life. Winning that funding. But the moment I had brain, I knew there's no any brain builders to development initiative aside. So I was super excited and super happy. And I got feedback. That's one thing I do. Either I win or I lose. I get feedback from people as well. I had the majority of the judges. Now that they have judged, of course, this is not a time for me to lobby them or anything. Now, what's really impressed them about my presentation? They said the depth of the analysis that I went to by critically thinking about them individually and giving them case study. And when I was answering questions, I was relating it with what the strategy of what the US Global Engagement Center is doing. That's also another thing. The person who wants to fund you, if you can look at their 5 years plans or 10 years plan, and you are able to, for example, if you're celebrating 25 years, if I'm not mistaken, please correct me, Faith, of impact or more than that. If you have access to maybe their document of their journey so far and what they want to achieve in the next 10 years, and LIP is bringing up an application, and what you are, okay, 22, thank you. And what you're telling them is what goes in line or in tandem with how they want to, what they want to achieve in the next 10 years. There's a high likelihood that you will be given much more opportunity than any other person who is just telling them a pedestrian thing that could be gotten in the market. What gave that opportunity is the ability to assess something, think about the box, think the unusual, think deeply, and of course, employing logic of saying 1 + 1. Why must 1 + 1 be 2? No, if you're a very good critical thinker, or you employ logical reasoning in anything you do, majority of your friends, especially amongst your friends, they will think you are a mad person. Because sometimes when they are thinking hey, and you're criticizing that hey, they will say, why is it always you? Why should it be all about you? Why is it that when people are going here or B, other of us has had that opportunity when we are in a group, like every one of us will be going to here, but you're saying, okay, I can understand with you, I agree with your here and view, but how about we talk about it this way? How about we look at it from this angle? And how about we critically assess what the impact could be? Then look at it from that angle to say, what could be the result of the in the endpoint. So some of us will be distracted about with what others will think. And what I tell people is in Yoruba, like you don't look at the noise in the marketplace. Eyes on the ball. I've just been told by Faith that I have 10 minutes and I want to use that 10 minutes to engage, please. So I think I will just end the class here and I will open the floor for questions. Thank you so much for the opportunity to interact with you, and I sincerely appreciate it. Thank you so much. So please, let's use the last 10 minutes to ask me questions, and I'm happy to answer before I jump on the next call. Like I said, it's been a crazy week and crazy month for me. I came back from the country about a month ago, but I've not had 48 hours straight up to even spend time with my family. That's to tell you different projects around. So I'm so sorry I could not make a PowerPoint presentation to make this class awesome. And I hope, of course, you enjoyed me sharing a little bit of my experiences. So please, questions. Thank you very much. Justus is asking me how critical thinking is linked to problem solving. For example, in your community as well, if you want to solve a problem, the problem does not just happen one day, and the problem will not be solved one day. So it has passed through different processes. Critically thinking about that problem will give you opportunity to troubleshoot where it has happened, how it has happened, what are the major efforts that some other people have done in trying to solve that kind of problem. How is that your own solution going to solve the problem in a more sustainable way, so that, of course, in the long run, when others come as well, they will be able to lay much more emphasis to ways of solving it. Salaudin, Camila, you're having a question, please. You can unmute and ask your question. How do I develop myself to be a critical thinker and continue having ideas, sir? Ideation process, one of my own ways to ideate a whole lot is, one, if you don't have a vision board, please have a vision board as well. And ensure that your vision board is at a place where you can see it. It's something that you wake up with every day. You sleep, you go to the bed with it every day. It could be that you want to be the president of Nigeria in the next 20 or 30 years. And no idea is too big, as far as I am concerned, to be honest. As an individual, when I was growing up, my thought was that, oh, fine, before you can observe, if you're a Muslim, before you can observe the yearly Hajj, you need to be maybe 40 or 50 years. You know, those WAP mentality that we always think about while we are young. But when I clocked 30, I just saw the 20. I told God that by the age of 30, I want to observe Hajj. As at that time, I had never had a job. I don't have money. To the glory of God, that vision came up. I came to true this year. And of course, I'm just 30, I'm going to 31. That is the power of vision. The vision is what makes me to say, oh, fine. I'm not, and I won't say because I have a vision and I have prayed to my God, it will get answered. Though. I beg you, make we not deceive ourselves. I needed to walk alongside that vision, continuously, working and making savings and investments to ensure that my vision, come to pass. So how you can develop yourself is to read books, engage with people who think critically as well, attend critical thinking classes like this as well, watch YouTube video, watch TEDx talks as well, And of course, one way or the other, play games that will help your memory and IQ. For example, games like, chess is a very good one to that will help your critical thinking skills. And if you are a mother here or a father here as well, it's always good to use games like that to, catch your kids young. Even Scrabble as well, one way or the other will make you think critically. So there are a whole lot of games on, and watch films as well. Apologies, I'm a very local boy. I don't do movies. Anytime I want to do movies, especially even, and that's something that my wife has been working on with me. I sleep. By 5 minutes, I'm gone. I'm already sleeping already. So some of us are not just good movie watcher, but watch movies that are not just all about you laughing. Movies that will change your thought process positively. So I've answered Mercy, Oladebo, then Salahuddin, Camila. There are times when you do things differently from the people around you. They see you as weird and as someone who is overdoing things. How can one critically think and take care of these things? Yes, I agree with you. I said it the other time while I was trying to wrap up my class, that when you are a very good critical thinker, a lot of people will look at, even if you're a Yoruba, there's something Yoruba we call Abayen Sheni. Or if you are the type that soliloquize, what the meaning of Abayen Sheni is it under one and evil casting, or or it's undergoing spiritual cleansing. Sometimes you've got to, for example, while preparing for pitch as well, you've got to meditate and talk to yourself. So in processes like this, not everybody will understand you. And if you're starting something, don't expect to be on the good book of a whole lot of people. But if that thing that you are doing later leads to something that you are globally recognized for, or bringing a whole lot of food into your table, the same category of people who are abusing you or who do not really believe in some of those things will still come back to you to come and learn the way you do things. So one of the ways to take care of things is understand and know the kind of person that you want to deal with. Are you working in an organization where your boss wants you to think outside the box and critically think? Are you working in an organization that encourages innovative and logical thinking, or you are working with a boss that loves to do things in the hard way? For you not to get pressured or not to get issues with that kind of boss, you've got to learn how to play the opposite politics and do what they want for them. So if you're in a society where your thinking is not recognized, why not form an alliance of those people who believe so much in you and work with them? Sharon is saying they say logical thinking is needed for debating, so I want to know how it is done. Wow. I've been a judge with also Leap Africa as well, Faith, maybe you pass this to Ijoma. I think I need to be given a job by now in Leap Africa. I've been a judge with Leap Africa debates before. I've been a coach as well for, team. And as such, I'm super proud to say that during the first edition, the team I coach won the debate as well. So I don't know, maybe Joy is on this call. The team I coach was Team Uniben. And when I was coaching them, one major thing I told them is, I don't know the category of the judges that Leap Africa are bringing, but what exactly they want to assess is how critical and logical your thinking process is. Can you think on your feet right away? Like when topics, and I prep them with like topic and talk. For example, during that prep session, most of our prep sessions are on it in the evening or night because of my time zone. Yes, I think I was using the different time zone from the Nigerian time zone while I was coaching them then. So anytime we meet every night, I give them a topic that relates with the thematics or the theme that the debate will be all about without them thinking about it. Or they call it pick and talk. How many of us has done pick and talk when we were in school? That really helped me in my secondary school days, to be honest. You just pick the topic and immediately you talk about it. And that's what I've introduced in what we call our yearly teen speak out. Our organization organized what we call teen speak outs. The meaning is teenagers speaking out. And the team is let the teenagers contribute to national development. What we do is we will firstly give you a topic. After giving you that topic, we know your lecturers or your teacher will have written that one for you. So we select the best 6. Out of the best 6, we don't give you pick and talk topic and you talk about it. That's how we are going to know if you can critically or logically think as a secondary school student. So how it's done for debate is you must have prepared yourself ahead and guess and second guess. You second guess the team. And I think, of course, to a large extent, Leap Africa always give you the team that they are working with every year, where that kind of topics will come from. So, for example, if that topic is going to come from local government autonomy or governance now, or let me just say governance. If I'm doing governance now as a debate, I would think about local government autonomy. I would think about, INEC and then State Independent Electoral Commission conducting elections. I would think about, how protest is effective or not effective. I would think about corruption around fuel subsidy. everything that has been happening in Nigeria is what I would critically be thinking about, and I would say, oh, if I'm giving this topic to defend or to oppose, what are the major points that we be able to talk about it? You know, I tell people, the greatest speaker of this world, those who win, those who are successful, sincerely, are not just who wake up one day and say, oh, fine, I want to be like Sharon, or I want to be like Ibrahim, or I want to be like Manji, or I want to be like Faith Ogali. Sincerely, there are people who have critically reassessed themselves, tell themselves the facts, and have been continuously working on it. And Rome was not built in a day. So, what are major steps in critical thinking? The first one is to firstly assess yourself to know if you are the type that, of course, what's the level of your IQ? You know, sometimes we deceive ourselves. But when I look myself in the camera or in the mirror, I tell myself the reality that your brain cannot pick this. So you win some, you lose some, like I said the other time. Or I don't think you are. You know, sometimes as well, our mind deceives us to say you can do something, and in the long run, you get to do it. There are also times that your mind will tell you that, oh, you don't have this and you can't do this. So you've got to firstly assess yourself. Then secondly as well, what kind of critical thinking process do you want to employ yourself in? And how do you meditate? Do you meditate just by reading novels? Do you meditate just by soliloquizing? Or you read Bibles? Or you listen to some thought opinion speakers? By now, you should have the category of people that you watch their TEDx talks. There are a whole lot of people that you could say, oh, I want to speak like this person. I like the aura of this, or I like the way this person dresses. And it could not even be that. Your own critical thinking could be in fashion or in design. That, oh, I love the way this lady always uses Ferragamo. I love the way this guy always uses giving chai. I love the way this guy using Gucci. I love the way this girl uses Coach, or this guy uses, you know, that designer. Or I want to be in the designer club. Your own could be in entertainment, but you know, go seal and you know, go do processes before you join those big class of using or wearing designer. Critically assess yourself, then have people that you imitate as well. Then start small as well. Start from your immediate environment. Start not just looking at things from the services, even if it's that service mainly. Time it to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at what the results could come from you, you know, giving that role play to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are there games that helps in developing critical thinking, like I've heard of chess and post? Yes, absolutely, Nanji. Chess, I mentioned it earlier on, not even knowing that it has been typed here. Chess is a very, very good game for critical thinking. I recommend Scrabble as well, and Puzzle is also a good one. Thank you so much, Ambassador, for appreciating me. Can I relate SDG with my critical thinking strategy to conduct my project in the community? Yes, that's the reason why needs assessment is important. That's the reason why engagement with the community is important as well. And also, why you need to involve and work with the community and not for the community. Ambassador Abraham, are there barriers to critical thinking or logical reasoning? A lot of barriers as well. Barrier of the society stereotype that want to talk down on you because you're a good critical thinker. So don't look at that as well. There's also the spiritual angle as well, with your parents saying, oh, Ogechi Abraham does not use to talk alone. Now, I think she or he is talking alone. Is that not something? Is he not running? Is he or she not running mad small? So of course, that's why, you know, sometimes as well, it's always good to have some educated parents as well, or have some people who could get to talk to your parents about your thought process. So can I relate SDG with my critical thinking? I answer that. Why are critical thinkers unsociable many times? God bless you, Nora. That's a very smart and brilliant question. And I was trying to share with this, but I'm happy. I'm happy. And once again, I think I want to give it to all of you. All these questions that you're asking are very critical as well. I'm not social. I'm just trying to improve my social life. And I'm so sorry for mentioning and pushing it all again. It's even after I got married, I'm getting much more social. I don't like traveling, especially traveling for fun or traveling out of the country for holiday. But I'm trying to include this in my bucket pack now. I don't like, maybe hanging out in a popular place. I prefer even ordering something and eating it in my own house. Like that's socializing aspect of me is crazy now. And that's why I say fish shy and my fashion knowledge is poor. So if you see me in a public place tomorrow and you see that, oh, why is this guy wearing this shoe on this? Just know that my wife is not around and she could not dress me up for that. So sometimes, as a critical thinker, the kind of things you give priorities to are not the kind of things that normal human beings want to prioritize. I can't understand, but I think we could work around it as I am working on myself. So thank you for bringing that. But I don't know the why. Nora Amino, I don't know the why. I'll be honest with that. Is there a way to work around low self-esteem and critical thinking? Absolutely. There's something that happened to me when I was in secondary school. Anytime a lecturer comes to my class, even if I know something, I would prefer talking to and please, if I'm speaking your mind, tell me in the chat box now. I would prefer talking to the next person sitting up to me and write the answer for that person to speak it. If that has happened to you, please let me know in the chat box. Like, that is how worst it was for me in secondary school. I could not even speak among my colleagues. So if I know something and it's actually, the day that low self-esteem came down for me. It was in SS3. A person came to my school. She was a core member as well, Copa, Inzelu, something. So she now asked the question, and the person who got that answer, as at that time, got about 300 naira. 300 naira as at that time. Oh, please, 2 minutes. Wait, I'm so sorry. So I'm not so sure. Can I have permission to go on with answering the questions, or because I know I've exhausted my 2 minutes? Wait. Hello? I'm just seeing 2 minutes notification now.
Hi,
Hello,
Mr.
Faith.
Abidin. You can yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Please just round up like with the last question. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Yeah, I think one of the ways to which you can work around that is to self-assess yourself as well and have an accountability partner. In most cases, it's not what we don't know what to say, but at times we feel might be wrong, and that makes us just sort of. You see, that was the question I was trying to address with this scenario of my secondary school. I believe that's why most of us don't interact well. Yeah. Thank you, Abdullah, for saying, how can I know I'm thinking critically? You know yourself now. But someone who doesn't think on their feet or certain, how do you reflect your critical thinking abilities in a limited period? So one of the things you can do is to start small as well. Start from your immediate community within your friend as well to, let them give you a self-assessment of yourself. And don't do a self-assessment from your boyfriend, because your boyfriend will only tell you the sweet things you want to listen to, or your girlfriend as well. Your girlfriend will only tell you the sweet word that you're the best thing that has ever happened in this world. Have that good accountability partner that is not an enemy as well, because your accountability partner could be your enemy and continue to even discourage you while you are doing fine. So this is, critical thinking and logical reasoning is even life itself. And believe you me, it's not something that we can cover in a day, to be honest. It is life itself because, even determine the kind of person you want to move out with involve you to critically think about it. So I've exhausted a whole lot of time and I've wasted a lot of time. Apologies, faith, but I enjoy interacting with, my fellow activists in Nigeria. And congratulations once again to Leap Africa for selecting these critical thinkers and, global change makers. I can't wait to see them explore a whole lot of opportunity. And I appreciate you once again for the platform. Thank you.
Everything. Thank you so much for a power-packed session, because I'm sure that everyone had a wonderful time with this session. So please, before we go, yes, I can see. Okay, let's see. I can see a lot of thank you in the chats. And of course, I can see the wonderful questions that were asked and how much you even took your time to answer them. And yeah, we're really, really grateful. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. So going forward, please, I would like to share the attendance link. And please, for those of you that haven't heard of the Trickle app, the Trickle app is for your data stipends, where you have to complete your course modules on the LMS platform 100%. The first 22,500 participants would receive, are only eligible for the data stipend. And the data stipend is actually going to be disbursed on the Trickle app, using the Trickle app. So please see the link to the, let me share my screen so that you can see the link for the entire, for the Telegram, for the group, and all, so that you can get in and have like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm having a little bit of glitch here. I can't share my screen. Okay. So that you can download the Trickle app, because it's very essential for your data stipend, and you should complete your courses 100% on the LMS platform for you to be able to get your data stipends, because we want to support you, but we also want you to get the best of so sorry. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Oh, awesome. Please, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you weren't hearing me. So I was saying that you should please download the Trickle app. You have to also join the Telegram community for you to get the best of updates. And here's the link for the Telegram community. I'll be dropping it in the chat now. So you should join the Telegram community. Let's see. Community. So join the Telegram community to use for you to get updates on how to download the Trickle app, for you to get your data stipends, your 100% completion of your modules, and to even communicate across with various students in your institution, for you to team up for the advocacy track or the sustainability track. So thank you so much for joining us for today. And I think I will have to share my screen once again so that you can see the link for attendance for those that will be coming back to rewatch, and the ones that weren't available for the live session. So see you guys, and bye. I'll be going now. Download the Trickle app. See you guys on Telegram, and we'll be communicating there as well. Have a wonderful time and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. Okay, yes, we can all go now. Bye, guys.